The drop-dead hilarious new musical comedy Death Becomes Her is in Chicago before it heads to Broadway later this year. Based on the beloved 1992 movie, it follows two frenemies on their quest for youth, beauty, and immortality with the help of a magic elixir. And joining us now is one of the stars of Death Becomes Her and the purveyor of the magic potion itself, Grammy Award winner Michelle Williams.
Welcome.
Hey. Thank you so much. You do the intros every night for the show.
Done and
He's
done.
available.
I'm available. I will be there.
He'll make himself available.
First up, girl, congratulations. Ellen and I both saw the show on opening night.
Yep.
Holy shnikes, is this a fabulous show? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I am just, first of all, Chicago is just, I hope people put some respect on Chicago's name as far as the theater community is concerned. So if anybody has a show that you've got to do, Chicago just respects theater.
Yeah.
And so I remember years ago working on The Color Purple here and doing The Color Purple at the Cadillac Palace. So I've got some great memories of theater here.
I'm sure. That's why they do so many pre-Broadway openings here, because our audiences, they respond. If it's good, they're going to let you know it's good. And if it ain't,
they're going to let us know.
Yeah. And they let you know for sure on Wednesday night. Or was that the night we were there?
No, we were there on Sunday.
Sunday night. The week's flown by. They let you know. You know a show is good when an intermission they're going crazy already and applauding right before,
Listen, I'm like, I'm hilarious with all the Sunday crowds, because I'm like, Sundays were the days we were supposed to go to church, and here y'all are laughing at all these jokes.
Yep.
And, sometimes we're backstage like, folks need to go back and get baptized.
Yes, indeed.
Well, it's your fault because y'all ain't right up there.
Exactly. That Jennifer Samars.
Oh.
That Jennifer.
Wow.
Well, all of you are a bunch of just lunatics up there on that stage.
Yes.
And I am here for it. I'm eating it up with a spoon. So amazing. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied now because I'm just like, oh, it's you. So you play Viola Van Horn, who the character is based on Isabella Rossellini's character in the movie. First of all, before we get into your particular, I want to shout out to all four of you who are the stars of it.
Yeah.
Y'all have taken some really iconic roles and have them stay true to the original source, but you all have made them completely your own. How did you tackle this character?
Yeah. So, of course, I've been familiar with the movie, and when I got the opportunity to do this role on Broadway, I went ahead and looked at the movie again one more time. And I felt that, some of the choices that I had made, Isabella, she had done in the movie. So I was like, okay, my instincts here are correct. So I watched it one time. And then I think the energy that Chris, Megan, Jennifer, what they do with each other. First of all, they're a masterclass for me every single day. Every day in rehearsal, it was like a masterclass.
Yeah.
But my journey was literally I just watched it one time and just kind of to see, what resonated with me. And it's a chill role for me. I have to exert a lot of, especially that first number, I'm exerting a lot of energy, but not necessarily in choreography and all that stuff, but just in the intensity of the delivery of the music and the monologue. But that was my journey, really. And looking at another particular artist that I love dearly Shirley Bassey.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was going to say there was a little sassy Bassey coming through your performance there.
Hey, yes.
Uh-huh.
So that's my secret that I'll give away. I think that I think folks should, look at the blueprints that have gone before them.
Yeah, and then you gleaned, like you were saying, like your instincts were correct. You were like, oh yes, this is what I'm doing, and kind of moving forward. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that you are originating a role for Broadway. Is that right?
Correct.
What is that like?
Correct. It is a joy. It's a dream come true. I've spoken this a long time. Year after year after year, but this was not on my vision board for this year, I'll tell you that.
Who knew?
But it is something that I've spoken throughout the years, and it's come true.
Mm-hmm.
So I live by the power of words, and I'm like, wow, I've been speaking that I've wanted to originate a role on Broadway a long time. This is my 5th Broadway show, but like you said, my first originating role.
Yeah.
Michelle, tell us a little bit, it's kind of on the same theme, but tell us a little bit about the process of preparing a show that is going to be premiering on Broadway, because you are originating. I'm sure there's changes and challenges. How do you meet those challenges, and how was that process for you?
Well, from the time I stepped foot in New York for rehearsals, a nip here, tuck there, change here, it just, just changes.
Yeah.
But there were subtle changes. Or some scenes had to be maybe completely rewritten if they felt like, oh, this fell a little flatter, or no. So that's what the previews were for, too. So the audience April 30th, the show that they saw April 30th is not the show that you're seeing today.
Right.
Certain things weren't available. Certain things weren't ready. And now the show is locked.
Mm-hmm.
And so
locked and loaded.
So we're here till we're locked and loaded here till June 2nd.
Yeah.
So I hope folks and I hope folks that came to see it during the preview maybe come back and check it out. There are a few surprises in there.
Yeah, that's one thing that I don't think people realize is when you do these out-of-town tryouts and you have these previews, the show is still like going through major changes. So, you're rehearsing during the day and then putting in new songs, new whatever during the day, and then performing them that night. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I know.
Were you just pooped? I mean, I was exhausted watching the show. Like just watching the show, I'm like, oh my gosh, and I can only imagine what the rehearsal process until opening, because now that it's locked, you get, oh good, my days are free now. Breathe.
Oh yeah, I can breathe. My days are free. I can eat breakfast and or lunch, on the patio now, and just be free. And so it's hard work up there. Mm-hmm. That's why I think the art needs to continue to be respected, because it's just not people up there that put on some cute lipstick and a sexy one piece. It's hard work, and some folks have been workshopping this show since last year. The producers of this show have been working on this for years. Mm-hmm. And so it's a lot. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work.
Michelle, speaking of hard work, you've been very public about some of your mental health struggles, and I was wondering why you felt it was so important to talk about it publicly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's a good question. Actually, when I was promoting the musical Fela back in 2013, I was doing an interview with a journalist, and it was so conversational. He disarmed me really well, and somehow we got to talking about things, and I can't even tell you how depression came up. And I said, hey, that's been a struggle of mine as well. Mm-hmm. And so I just didn't think it would make that part of the interview, because it was supposed to be a print article. So I was like, that's going to be edited out. That's not even going to make the interview.
Right.
Well, it did. And that's how it became public. And so many people started thanking me for sharing my story because it gave them the courage to get the help they needed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even recently, I spoke for some folks in the military, and the next day someone went and got themselves treatment because for the past 6 months they didn't know if they wanted to live or not.
Yeah.
So I will always advocate. I will always tell my story for those reasons alone, too.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
well, and it's important.
So important.
You
Yeah.
know, the more we talk about it, the less the stigma
Yes.
exists around it. So thank you for doing that. You know, it's not easy, especially for somebody who is so well known, like yourself, to be like, "Hi, yes, I am a superstar, but I'm also vulnerable, and I'm a human."
You can make a difference.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
yeah, it's girl. I will watch you read the phone book. I watch you do anything, especially if you are in some of these costumes. I just have to ask you, as a performer who's very jealous of your opening and of your first entrance. I mean, you kick off the show. You rise up out of the stage looking flawless. And then you sing from the bottom of your toes. What is, I mean, look, like talking about like words are power. You are envisioning this. You are originating a role that's going to be heading to Broadway. You kick off the show in a way where it's just like, and she rises from the depths. She looks amazing. She's going to sing her face off. What does that feel like as you are, as you start the show 8 shows a week?
Wow, Scott. First of all, you're hilarious. I need you.
He is.
No, I'm a truth teller is what I am.
He's a professional. Comedian.
I have been, as the kids say, I've been gooped and gagged ever since I saw the show on Sunday. I have sent so many people, and literally, like, you just rise up. Your mere presence there is like gets a standing ovation.
Thank you, and Ellen, so much. This is so much fun. It's really fun being down there.
Yeah.
That's actually where I gauge what kind of audience we have. That's where I gauge. Now I won't give it all away, but that's where I gauge what kind of audience we got. People don't know when I'm down. I'm down there for a few minutes, just listening, and everybody's talking and all of that good stuff.
Right.
So that's where I gauge what kind of audience it's going to be.
How do you know if it's going to be a good audience? Do you know? Or is it just that je ne sais quoi?
I know it's going to be a great audience by the volume. How everybody's just speaking. I know what kind of show it's going to be by. See, I said I wasn't going to give my secret away. I also know when the lights kind of get a little lower. And that crowd goes bonkers. I'm like, okay, they're about to be lit.
There we go.
Well, they were lit on Sunday night because everybody that we know, on my friends that have saw previews, were just gushing on Facebook and on Instagram. So there was a lot of anticipation, but the payoff was there.
Yes, that's the anticipation, and it was like, I'm down in there, and I'm like, okay, this crowd is so excited. And I'm so confident in the entire cast that we deliver, and we serve that anticipation. Because everybody in this show, everybody, I mean, it's its own show backstage with how everybody is maneuvering and keeping us safe, and the crew are just absolutely beautiful. We have a blast. It's from everybody that's seen on stage to the folks that are backstage wearing all black. Making sure the stage is running smoothly. So
you can tell. You can feel it.
It's great.
Yeah.
You can feel the joy just coming right across the stage lights. I do have to, I know our time is wrapping up, but I would be remiss if I did not pass on a compliment from my husband, who is obsessed with We Break the Dawn. Just to let you... And I have to ask, I know you're a little busy right now, but will we be getting some more Michelle Williams music?
I really hope so.
Yes, me too.
So. Yeah, I don't want to force anything. I got in the studio in July of last year, just kind of playing around, and I'm like, you know what? We may have something here.
All right.
So we'll see.
All right.
Excellent.
Well,
We
you know,
look forward
like I
to
said,
that.
you are busy right now. So in the meantime, you need to focus all of your attention on this glorious show. Death Becomes Her is playing through June 2nd at the Cadillac Palace Theater. You'll be dying if you miss it. See what I did there? Michelle Williams, congratulations on a beautiful performance in a hilarious show. And thank you so much for taking time out to join us today.
Thank you, Michelle. It's great to meet you.
got it. Thank you, Ellen and Scott. It's been a joy talking to y'all.
Same here.
Break all the legs.
See you again
Okay.
soon, I hope. Thank you.